Welcome to CARICOMP Insider, where high-tech facial recognition meets real-world intelligence.
A well-crafted synthetic voice fools trained human listeners more often than a coin flip. According to peer-reviewed research on deepfake audio, when people tried to identify state-of-the-art synthetic speech, their average accuracy landed below 60%. Your ears, no matter how good they are, literally cannot keep up. That should unsettle anyone who's ever received a voicemail, verified a caller's identity, or watched a video and assumed the voice was real. If you've ever thought, "I'd know a fake voice if I heard one," you're not alone. Most of us believe that. And most of us are wrong. For professionals handling audio evidence, fraud investigators, attorneys, analysts, this means your instinct isn't admissible. For the rest of us, it means the next voice note or video clip someone sends you could be entirely manufactured, and you'd never suspect it. That's a reasonable thing to feel anxious about. But the science of detection has moved far beyond what human hearing can do. So what are these detection systems actually picking up that we can't? Most people assume deepfake detection is about audio quality, that synthetic speech sounds robotic or slightly off, and a sharp ear can catch it. That assumption made sense 5 years ago. It doesn't anymore. Modern synthesizers replicate voice content, the words, the tone, even the emotion, nearly perfectly. The reason we still believe we'd catch a fake is that we're listening to what's being said. Detection systems ignore what's being said entirely. They focus on the carrier, the physical mechanism producing the sound. The article's analogy nails this. Trying to spot a deepfake by listening is like authenticating a painting from a photograph. You can see the colors and composition, but you miss the brushstroke texture, the canvas weave, the ink chemistry that would tell you whether it's real. Spectral analysis does for audio what a microscope does for paint. It breaks raw sound into frequency components across time and produces a spectrogram, basically a visual map of pitch, harmonics, and phase behavior that's invisible to your ear. A synthetic voice might sound perfectly natural out loud, but its spectrogram reveals the algorithmic fingerprints that built it. Now, there's a deeper layer that surprised me. Custom detection microphones can actually measure biosignals your body emits while you speak. Your heartbeat, your lung movements, the vibrations of your vocal cords, even the motion of your lips, jaw, and tongue. These aren't things you hear in someone's voice. They're physical world capture artifacts, traces of a living body producing sound. A synthesizer doesn't model your ribcage expanding or your heartbeat pulsing behind your larynx. It can't fake what it doesn't simulate. For an investigator reviewing audio evidence, this is a new verification channel. For anyone worried about being impersonated by AI, it means your body leaves a signature no algorithm has learned to copy. So what specific vocal features do detection models actually measure? Two of the most important are called jitter and shimmer. Jitter is the tiny, irregular variation in timing between each vibration cycle of your vocal cords. Shimmer is the same kind of irregularity, but in amplitude, how loud each cycle is compared to the last. These micro-fluctuations come from the biomechanics of your throat, muscle tension, airflow, tissue elasticity. They're not patterns a neural network learns from training data. They emerge from physics acting on flesh. According to researchers behind a prosody-based detection model, a classical 6-feature approach using pitch, intonation, jitter, and shimmer achieved 93% accuracy at identifying deepfakes. That's remarkable, but the real story is why it's so resilient. Standard deepfake detectors learn to spot audio artifacts, little glitches or patterns left behind by the generation process. Attackers know this. According to research on adaptive adversarial attacks, targeted strikes against standard detectors degraded their accuracy by over 99%. That's nearly total failure. The attacker essentially engineers away the exact artifacts the detector was trained to find. But prosody-based detection held up far better. Why? Because it's not asking, does this audio have glitches? It's asking, are these vocal mechanics physically possible? That's a much harder question for an attacker to defeat without actually modeling human physiology. For professionals building evidence chains, this distinction matters enormously. For the rest of us, it means the best defenses aren't chasing the fakes. They're verifying the biology. One more piece worth understanding. Detection improves dramatically when systems combine raw audio with spectrograms that expose fine-grained time-frequency evidence. Semantic analysis alone, focusing on what words were said, misses the mechanical artifacts and how they were produced. Human listeners make this exact same mistake. We focus on meaning. Detectors focus on signal structure. And increasingly, investigators handling identity fraud or evidence authentication encounter deepfakes that combine both face and voice. A facial comparison tool and an audio detection tool operate on completely different physical signal spaces. Neither one alone catches the full picture. The boundary of deepfake detection has shifted. It's no longer perceptual. Can you hear that it's fake? It's forensic. Does the waveform match what a living human body actually produces? So, 3 things to remember. Your ears can't reliably tell real speech from synthetic speech. Detection works by measuring physical traces of the human body, heartbeat artifacts, vocal cord irregularities, breathing patterns that synthesizers don't generate. And the strongest defenses don't chase audio glitches. They verify biology. Whether you evaluate evidence for a living or you just got a voicemail you weren't sure about, knowing this changes how you trust what you hear. The full story's in the description if you want the deep dive.
Now you know something most people in this industry don't. Use it. And when you're ready to put it to work, caracomp.com. We'll see you tomorrow.